Okay, well, let's see where the markets are at the moment.
Yeah, I suspect these are those pre-market moves. I mean, we talked about finish line already. Nike had their quarterly numbers out yesterday, and so we've seen big pre-market moves in there at 3.31%. Micron Technology, which we talked about on yesterday's show, they missed on expectations. They seen a big dump of stocks there. Accenture down as well. But I think euro dollar again is going to be that big move. I suspect these numbers are from an hour ago. I suspect they've changed very significantly since that Greek news. But this one that I kind of highlighted yesterday, we've got Euro Swiss, and we're supposed to be Dollar Swiss. We should be looking at Euro Swiss as well. I feel like this is going off a lot of people's radars. You know, lots of people got a lot of pain, obviously, this year.
Swiss, yes.
Yeah, they got hit.
Might not be looking at that again, actually.
Yeah,
for quite some time.
But I think that's an issue. I think people have taken their eye off the ball a bit with Switzerland. And with what's happening in Europe, we've seen that kind of strong upside, those strong gains in the Swiss franc. As the SNB said yesterday, they're starting to feel a bit of pain from there. And as we've seen, to our kind of detriment, there's lots of people out there who've been hit hard. When the SNB wants to move, they move hard, and they do whatever it takes. They've got deep pockets, and so I think people need to keep an eye on those Swiss levels, because
it's interesting that 104 on the Euro Swiss. I mean, it's actually let's say probably weaker than you might have imagined.
Yeah, but I mean,
allowing the market to find a level.
But I mean, they're still up 11% this year. That's a pretty in major FX terms. That's a fairly big hike, and if you're a Swiss exporter, that's quite a lot to kind of swallow. Yeah. So it's if we get to the point at which they're really starting to scream, if the SNB moves, they'll move hard and move fast. And I think people need to keep a good eye on that pair. Right.
Any other markets that you really have a?
I think everything is just about risk. It's about risk sentiment in the markets. Again, that's been the story this week. We've not seen any huge moves in FX markets, and I think it's been a lot because of this nervousness of Greece. Everything's quite range bound, and I think that's the way it's going to stay for the rest of today.
Okay, that's it for the Wall Street Crossover Show. Thanks to Craig Drake, and we'll be back with this Monday at 1 p.m.